Many stories and tales revolve around Woman of the Underworld, and stories of a legendary nature, on the email, and after that, and the confirmation of those who claim, and they are certainly old, among them Alhaj Abdul Khalik Muhammad, who is approaching the age of 90 now, says, "I was going with my wife late. We were late, and we were passing by a canal full with water and darkness. I was surprised by the voice of a woman calling from behind me my name. I turned to find a beautiful woman in her 20s, who was sitting next to the canal, and despite the darkness, but her features were completely clear, I found myself going to where she was sitting, near the canal, and here my wife noticed and she cried, and her screaming voice roused me, from a state of disorientation and strange surrender to Nada, who said as she disappeared into the water, 'One day you will be mine.' Then she laughed sarcastically, saying to my wife, 'You saved him from me, but I will take him from you.' As the narrations circulate, the harm of Nada can be limited to madness, while it can be formed in more than one shape and more than one size for the same shape, and one of the ways in which it can be killed is by remembrance of God and sprinkling salt on it, without looking at its face and not responding to its call. From the stories and anecdotes on the topic of forbearance, in addition to one of the famous Arab films, the person does not have to die the next day or go completely crazy. Only happens what we can say about some psychological hallucinations, such as finding the person talking to himself and starting to hesitate a lot to wander around the agricultural lands, and it is difficult for you to track him and know exactly where he goes. It is also said about the legend that sometimes Woman of the Underworld falls in love with someone and takes him with her to the underworld and marries him, in which case he disappears the person completely and then appears suddenly, but he dies. After that some say that his death is because he abandoned her underworld and she takes revenge on him by killing him for fear of revealing the secrets of her world, so some die the next day or go crazy or disappear completely. A beautiful voice that charms your heart and calls you by your name as if you had never heard your name before, so beware. Thanks for listening to our stories. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new. Have a great night.